Hey there folks, thanks for joining us on another board game night. Today we're having a Kickstarter preview for Fire It Up. This is from Drawlab Entertainment and designed by two very nice Greek fellas who I'm horribly going to pronounce. Maybe I should just move the camera closer so you guys can pronounce it yourself. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little rundown of how Fire It Up works. So you get a general idea of how it works. Keep in mind we're going to be using prototype components. And then we're going to show you some gameplay so you can get a general idea of how the game flows. And then at the end, we'll show you some links and give you some final information where you can go to follow. And if you want to back the game, you can follow the link to the Kickstarter, which will be in the description below. With me to help is Molo.
Hello.
Carla.
Hello.
Hello.
George. And myself, Jason. I was pointing at the board this time.
Okay, good.
Molo says I should get a little finger puppet and put it up here when I go, it's Jason, because, you know, with my face on, because I'm always pointing at someone else. Anyway, right, so I'm going to give you a quick brief down of how the setup. What we are the cheering crowd in a big arena battle. So these are the arena fighters. They are set up in the arena over here, and there's some information on each fighter separated out like that. They have on them their stamina, the influence marker, their morale, their attack and defense, special ability. You didn't see any of that, my apologies. So this is the stamina, influence marker, morale, attack and defense, other way around, and special abilities. Each fighter will have a different combination of those things. And over here on the arena, it tells you what sort of order they activate. So this guy's going third, and then of course who they're going to be attacking, so which direction they're attacking. At the moment they're forming a little conga line like that. This is how this game gets set up. We also have a board over here which will show you what bets have been placed on which fighters and what sort of bets we're taking. And then each player also has two social markers, influence dice equal to the number of players plus 1. We also start off with 4 of these arena cards, and we start off with a betting card for each fighter. We all start the same, so we've got 1 for each fighter, and I'll explain a bit more about the betting cards in a bit. And then there's of course attack dice and defense dice. Now there's quite a lot going on, but effectively in the influence phase, the first thing we do is we choose 2 of our arena cards, our betting cards, to choose that we could bet on for that round. So let's say if I chose that guy and that guy, I keep them on my hand, discard the others. That way I can spend social tokens to put markers on the betting track. Then we roll our influence dice. There are 6 obviously faces on the dice. They do different things. This influences the morale. This increases his fighter's speed. This gives you more social markers to bet more. This doubles up on any one of the other actions. This either changes a fighter's direction of what he's fighting, or can lock him into a direction that he's fighting. And this only buffs him a little bit. So you can either buff his attack or defense, which is basically on the horizontal line. You can go up to the next one, but morale affects that more. Once everyone's done the influence phase, and obviously the gameplay section will have more relevance to how that works, because we'll explain as we're going through the gameplay phase. Once we've done that, we go to the morale phase, and we're starting with the first player the first fighter going around and checking their morale. If it's positive, their attack and defenses will go up. If it's neutral, it'll stay in the neutral zone, and if it's low, it'll go down to the lower zone. Once that's done, we can then go to the battle phase. And the battle phase is basically you roll the attacker. So for example, this Robert over here attacking this guy over here will roll his attack dice against his defense dice, and you're basically looking for body shots. So for example, if you roll a hand, you can only block that with a hand over here or the shield. If you roll an special attack symbol like this, that can't be blocked. And if you roll 2 of the same, for example, if you roll 2 heads and your opponent doesn't have any shields or heads to block with, he will not only take 2 stamina damage, which will reduce his stamina down, and when a fighter reaches 0 stamina, he's knocked out and removed from the arena, but he will also take a wound. Once a fighter takes 3 wounds, he's also knocked out and taken out. The influence marker means basically every time you influence a fighter, so when we shout at him and go, "Get him!" or "Fight that guy!" then this moves down 1, and eventually you can only be influenced 3 times a round. In the new round, it'll refresh, and then we get to influence them again. So that was a very brief overview of how the game works. As I said, the gameplay section will make a lot more sense. So I think what we'll do is we'll get started. The game lasts 4 rounds, as you can see over there. So maybe we'll play round 1 and 2, and then in round 3 we'll come show you how the game works, and we'll play through the whole of the round 3 so you can see how that works, and then finish off the game, tell you who won, and where you can go to find this Kickstarter. See you guys in a bit. Okie dokie, you join us for the gameplay section. We've had 2 rounds so far. Mr. Sigurd over here, or what is his name, Mother?
Sigurd the Colonel.
Yeah, the Colonel. He's already bit the dust. He was the first fighter to die.
Fried chicken.
And as you can see, some of the bets that we placed were incorrect. That's right, we're not the best betters. This is what the 4 fighters are remaining in the arena, battling it out for dominance in Fired Up. Some of them have taken some damage, some of them are pretty feeble, and we are ready to go. Okay, first things first, out of your bet cards, you choose 2 that you want to work with this round, the other one is discarded. Then, starting with the first player, which is going to be Carla, she will roll her influence dice.
Which has now gone down 1 because of the fighters missing out of the game.
That is correct. We only have 5 influence dice now, because it's 1 for each fighter in the arena, plus 1.
Okay.
While she's having a little thought, I'm just going to show you. These are my 2 arena cards for this turn. If my camera will zoom in on them. Come on. There we go. So this is what I'm attempting to do. And you can obviously see the points that they're worth. And the longer you hold out, the more points they're worth.
Okay, so I am going to... I'm going to change this one's direction.
Okay.
Face that way. Then I'm going to use my 2 credits to change this to a
Speeder.
speed symbol and kick him up a notch.
So that goes from 2nd to 1st.
That is correct. So once Mick's adjusting that, I'll quickly explain.
Oh!
Oh dear.
Mick's destroying my stuff.
Is it bad that I actually was more relieved it wasn't a drink, even though that's probably 10 times more expensive?
No, I'm relieved it wasn't a drink because the stuff it splashed on is 10 times more expensive.
Well, that's true. Thank God it wasn't a drink. Alright, so what's happened here is Carla's basically influenced Keen the Hurricane. So that means the influence marker will go down by 1. You can influence as much as you want for this turn based on the amount of dice you have, but you can only influence 1 fighter per phase. So this is the fighter she's chosen to influence. She's chosen to change his direction of combat. So she shouted out to him, "Get the white guy!" Or white robot. And she's also increased his speed, making him go faster.
Like we were white people saying that, isn't it?
Yeah. So that means now his speed has gone up. He's moving faster. He's been changed direction. That means we can still influence him, but only 2 more times, and then the round will end.
Okay, so I'm going to use this
you're still
credit
doing more?
symbol. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get myself on.
Okay. So you use 3 of your 5 dice.
Yes.
And then it goes on to Mick, the Destructor.
All I care about is I ruined some other people's bets.
Alright, so what are you influencing?
And he's going to be the fast one.
Okay. So, no, you need 2 speed to catch up to this guy now. Because this guy's got a speed already. He's already moving faster. If you want to, and he's 2nd place, he's 1st place. If you want to swap with him, you need double the speed. So have you got another speed?
You could use that to power up that credit.
Change it. I don't need him to be first.
But you can't influence his speed unless you are moving up.
All will be revealed.
Okay.
Oh, I know what he's doing.
Is that you done then?
No.
Oh, just so we move up his...
To make it harder for people to do that.
So he increases morale. Now his morale is already at max. Why Mick might do that? Because I might on my turn add double morale to make him go down. Because when you work out the morale, if it say had double morale going down and 1 going up, that's a positive or a negative depending on how you look at it. Of 1, it would only go down to neutral. So it is a way of preventing his morale from going down.
What's the attack with?
This guy, he's got an attack of 7 at the moment. And because he's been influenced to speed, he's going to get a bonus 2 dice. So he's got 9 attack. So he's really buffing him. Don't want him to die, do you, Mick?
And I think I'll hold fire on that.
Okay. So then it goes over to me. I roll my influence die. See what I got. I got a lot of 2 times stuff. Alright, what's going on? Obviously there's a little fight going over here. I think each one of us gets 1 reroll per round. I think I'm going to use my reroll now. Because I don't need any of this. I'm hoping for a lock. There we go. There's at least 1. So I'm going to change this guy's direction. And he's going to go that way. And I'm also going to... I think I'm going to spend this to get one of my credits back. And I'm also going to... Do you mind moving his influence marker down 1? I think I might. Yes. I'm going to double speed him. So because he's already got a speed marker, I have now double speed. So he goes to 2nd, he goes to 3rd. Leaves me with 1 die left. And I'm going to... I'm going to all in. I'm going to add up his morale.
Okay.
That's right. I spent all my dice. Who cares? Go on then.
Righty, what have we got here? Okay. Ooh. Okay, we will do some things. Don't have any speed, so we can't do that with that. Okay, I will change his target to there and lock it.
God damn it, Molo, you're such a pain in my ass.
I will bet on the one with the most stamina in the game. And what have I got there?
Oh my god, you really are a pain in my ass.
You better believe it.
Because I think you've just done the same thing that I wanted to do.
Flip that, and,
Which means I'm going to get less points.
and that is it. for my
Assuming
turn.
it was a right bet.
Yeah, true.
You
Right,
thought
Carl?
that the last
So-
time and you didn't get any money.
Just to go back to, Carla's obviously the first player. The dice she had from the previous leftover, she gets to re-roll now. So she doesn't get to keep what she left. It's re-rolled again.
Okay, so I have rolled it, but I don't like my dice rolls. I get a free
Yep.
re-roll, so I'm going to use that now. I get exactly what I rolled before. Okay, I'm going to spend my credits and... place a bet there.
So you betting that you know which fighter is going to make the 2nd kill.
And...
The way these work, while Carla's thinking, it tells you here. So, for example, in this one, when the 2nd fighter who will eliminate a fighter from the game is revealed, we will then reveal the bets. The first person to get it right, it's kind of like in Camel Up, the first person to get it right will get 4 points, plus which round he bid in. 2nd player will get 2 points, plus which round he bid in. 3rd player will get 1 point, plus the round he bid in. As simple as that.
I will up the morale of May.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay. So none of the morale and stuff is affected. I say none of the other stuff. Just the morale is not affected. The morale is affected at the end of the influence phase.
Ready?
Is that you done, Carla?
Mm-hmm.
Go on there, Mick. What you got? Morale and speed. Where's he gonna go? Seems like Mick previously went over here, hedging his bets on this one. I went all in on Commander Khaki. We've got some pretty beat up fighters here. Oh, he's going for this dude. Bringing his morale down. Yeah, okay.
Oh no, do that after.
Yeah. Is that you done?
Yeah.
For my turn, I got no dice left, but I am going to place a bet. And I'm going to go boom in there. Alright, and then over to you, Marlo.
Okay, right.
Speed and morale. How many dice you got left, Carla?
1.
1.
Okay, I'm
So
gonna
isn't it?
thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to go there.
Okay, and
Damn it, Molo, what are you doing?
Marlo's chaos incarnate.
I'm gonna spend a speed which won't swap because that guy's heavily armored against speed.
Yes.
There we go. And that, and I will, might as well spend my last bet to add 2 different bets to.
Right,
Bit
Carla?
unsure, are we?
No point in keeping it without any dice, man.
Alright, Carla,
Okay.
your last dice.
Who's the fighter with the highest defense?
Currently, and that might change. Yeah,
these
both
two.
of these two got 7. So both of these two got 7.
Okay.
Ah.
Well, I guess that's what I'll be doing.
And Mick, your last die.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Morale again. Have you used your reroll?
Oh, I haven't. The morale might not be the worst thing, but I'll try. Oh, that's
Well.
even worse. Oh, no, because I can use 2 to change to what I want.
Yeah, but you can't do it on that dice because you just used it to
And
get
that's
that.
the last dice you have.
Of
Yeah.
course, yeah. So, so I'll
Drop
have
your
to
cards,
bet.
man.
Have to bet.
There are 2 options.
As I've mentioned before, this is obviously prototype components. Also, the fighters won't come painted. This is something I've done for painting nights, but they will come as obviously finished miniatures that you can paint yourself or contact us to paint. Yay!
Oh, okay.
All right, so that's everyone's used their dice, right?
Wait, hold on. I'm going to use my credit.
Okay, so you're making a bet.
Yeah.
All right, so that ends the influence phase. So now we're going to do the morale phase. So starting
My
with
okay was about my go, not the painting.
so this guy's got the highest initiative.
Seems really
His morale
sarcastic.
His morale is a negative of 1, so it goes down to neutral, which means all his stats drop down to the highest point in the neutral row. Then we go to second place, which is that dude over there. His morale's
That's not exactly true. You said it just goes down. So if that had been affected by a buff, it'd have only gone down or up. You said.
well, yeah. But his was just at the max it could be. That one over there is positive, but he doesn't have any changes, so it stays where it is. This one has gone up 1 and down 1, so it stays where it is.
Mm-hmm.
And this one's positive, where it stays where it is. So the influence phase is done, and then we go to...
I'm going to score some starts.
Okay, yeah, now we go to the fight phase, and then there are 3 phases during the fight phase where we can score these cards. So the start, which is now, where we can do start cards, they have the keyword start in the corner over here.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
So anyone have any of those?
I do
yes.
in starts and I cost myself 3 points.
Okay, so I have mixed feelings. There are fighters in all 3 moral states, and they are all hastened. So that's 6 points.
Alright, so they're all hastened, means they all got speed upgrades, and this one's negative,
Negative, middle.
neutral,
Yeah.
positive. So, what did you get?
6 points.
So I not only
points.
did I deny myself 3 points, I gave him 3 points.
16,
By
22.
putting that on, instead of making it a plus,
Yeah.
an up morale,
Oh yeah, and it meant I could spend my dice on something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was great.
because that's why I did that, was I needed the 2 fighters fighting each other with haste.
Oh, okay. And then you put this one down with a...
Yeah, I didn't even see the second line, I didn't pay any attention to it.
Ha!
Also,
So it's 3 points to me anyway.
2 hasted fighters have locked the fastest fighter, another 6 points.
Okay. Who's the fastest fighter? It's
He
this
is
guy.
the fastest fighter, and these are both hasted.
Hasted
And
and
I've got-
locked onto him.
Sort of the same, which is 2 fighters have locked the fighter with the highest defense power.
Which
And
is...
he's-
You said 6, didn't
This
you?
guy's
6, yeah.
You
gone
won
down to
23.
5. He's got
No, it's on
7.
22.
Yeah, so there's 2 locked on him.
Okay, yep. So you score that.
So it's 6.
So the points are as follows before we start the fight phase. Blue has got 36 points. Red has 28. Green has 19. Yellow is 18. Neck and neck for last place. Okay, so now we go into the fight phase. Starting with the player with the highest initiative, or the fighter with the highest initiative, which is Hurricane. He's got an attack strength of 5, so one of you fighters take 5 attack strength.
Oh, crap.
And then he's going to be attacking this robot over here, who has a defense of 7. So, Mick, do you want to do that? And then they roll. So roll somewhere. How many you got?
I've only got 6 there.
Oh, right, sorry. Roll somewhere in the middle there if you can, Mick, so I can... Right. So then lay them out into the body shape.
3 in the chest, 1 in the foot, and 1 in the sky.
Oh, actually, I forgot. This guy's been speed up. Mick, Muller, you get 2 more extra dice.
Oh, that makes a difference. 4 in the chest,
Ouch.
1 in the head, 1 in the foot.
All right, so this is obviously relevant in how hits are allocated. So,
So 1 foot blocks a foot.
Yeah. Then,
1 chest blocks a chest.
oh, also you get the count of the foot. Got another.
So does it only counter once?
no, that's 2 damage.
2 damage back to
All
that one.
right, so
there,
before you guys can just mark out the blocks quickly so that I can explain.
So then I can block one of them.
Okay, so basically what's happening is the body shots are blocked by the opposite body shot. So feet are blocked by feet, body shots are blocked by body shots, torsos are blocked, heads by heads, and so on. The defensive player has a special defense, which is shields. The attacking player has a special attack, which is a little fire burst. Molo hasn't rolled any of those.
That symbol.
There we go. So how much damage is getting through without any counter attacks at this point?
3.
Okay, so that means 3 stamina loss is going to go to the robot. So the robot moves down from 4, 3, 2, 1. And then, because 2 body shots have gone through unblocked, that will cause a wound. Now, obviously, as I said earlier, fighters only have 3 wounds. So there's 2 ways that...
The first fighter lost its life because of 3 wounds.
That's exactly right, yeah. So even though the robot is 1 health point away from actually dying anyway, it also takes a wound. So it's 2 ways you can get knocked out. But that's not all. So, as the guys were pointing out, the defensive player rolled 3 boots, or 3 feet, and the attacking player only rolled 1. So that means the defensive player gets to counter-attack. And as there were 2 spare boots, the attacking player will take 2 stamina loss.
Does he take a wound?
No, not on the defensive phase. But, do I still have that thing?
Well, I do. I've got missed by an inch, so prevented a wound. He has prevented a wound because there's 3 like torso hits here. So by blocking 1, he's prevented a wound.
Well, no. By
because
blocking
the
these
2
2, he's prevented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I mean is basically
Yeah.
he's prevented a wound because he's blocked. And then by a hastened fighter, which has.
Okay.
Yeah,
was
I
that?
get to score 7. Oh, sorry.
And technically, I can choose to do this now. I could do it later, but I'm going to go for it now. I'm doing the miss or miss, which both the attacker and the defender roll at least 1 fail. They did for 4 points. I could have waited for another opportunity with less than 1 damage is dealt, but I'll just cash in the lesser one.
Right. I think I'm going to do this one. So I'm going to do retaliate. A fighter makes a counter attack, which will score me 4 points. If I had to a fighter with neutral morale, unfortunately, the fighter with neutral morale in this case is the one doing the attacking, not the counter attacking. This one's the one that did the counter attacking. So if it was the other way around, I would have got that 6 points. And this is the first fight, so I would have got the 8 points. But unfortunately, I don't meet those 2 criteria, so I only get the 4 points. So if one of you gentlemen and ladies would move me up 4 points. And then I do actually have this one as well, so I could score this now. Or I could choose to wait and see if something else will trigger at a later stage. And I think I'm going to wait. Right, so is that attack resolved then? We've done wounds, we've done stamina, and we've done counter attacks. So that was first fighter. Second fighter is this dude over here. How many dice has he got? 6.
6, yeah.
And he's fighting this dude who has 5 defense dice.
Okay.
So, Carly, you rolling for his defense?
Oh, this is a lot. Hands, head, feet, and 2 big ones. Looking bad.
Okay. Right. So I
Every
guess.
time we put a bet on.
So one hand beats defends a hand.
Yeah.
No chests got through.
So, also
But I
talk a
could
little. Remember,
do that.
this guy does 2 damage on feet,
So
So
you
you
probably
Wind
want
up the
to.
feet.
and this one can reroll blanks.
So then 4 damage,
Oh, that's better.
3
I guess
damage.
From the other hand.
So
3
just
damage
3
and a
damage.
wound.
No, that
Oh,
doesn't
those
count
don't
as
do
a wound.
wounds, do they? No. So, oh, okay.
I
That's,
assume they don't.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that extra, that blank being rolled saved it for...
From dying, is it?
No, who rolled the
Oh, this.
You did that, actually did that wrong because it's not him.
Yeah.
It's this one being... So no, that 4th
Oh,
attack,
right.
so he dies.
yeah.
That was my mistake. I thought it was this one getting attacked.
So King
Because
dies.
Molo changed it.
Ah, no.
So he's the second fighter
So-
to die.
Rexus killed. Rexus was the second fighter who will eliminate a fighter from the game.
Okay, I have not scored this.
So
Oh my
they
God.
bet first. So they bet Keen. And they bet Keen. So purple, Carla gets Rexus. So
5 points.
5
And in
points.
fairness, King was involved.
And I voted Keen. So 5 for yep.
Yeah.
Oops, stop.
Good bet, Garlo.
Yeah, very good bet.
It's the only good bet I've made.
All right. So that's the second fighter out of commission. That was the second attack. Third attack goes to him now. He attacks there, but obviously there's nothing there to attack because Keen's already been taken out. So his attack is wasted. And then it goes to this bad boy over here who's got
Not
Go.
all that bad,
Oh, but
to be
yeah.
honest with you either.
Go.
2 attack dice
Yes.
versus 7 defense dice.
It's going to be good. I'm going to kick his ass.
I will say, however, if you roll 1 fire, that robot is dead.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Not that makes a difference to anybody, but I did
Well, it
not
would have
roll
been
a fire.
hilarious if it did. You might have actually. Oh no, shield. Jesus, you nearly did it anyway. Didn't roll 1 boot.
But I held out and I
You
got
got your extra 2 points.
yeah. So I got my miss or miss. Both the attacker and the defender rolled at least 1 fail. They have, and less than 1 damage is dealt in the fight. No damage was dealt, so
That is less.
I get 6 points.
Well done.
Move me up 6 cell
I
there.
did. You went from 23 to 29.
Oh, I suck. I thought I was moving
Still
up.
fine for last.
Thought I was moving up there. All right, that's the battle phase done. I believe everyone's done.
2 fighters are down, so we're all down to 4.
4 dice, yeah.
So we're on to
So-
round 4.
What happens now, this is the cleanup part of the phase, is any cards of the arena cards that we have left are discarded. The person on last place on the board, which is red, becomes the new first player. This marker moves up to the 4th round. And these markers go back to full.
Well, doesn't really matter for that one.
No, that's
Get all
true.
your cards back to choose from for betting.
Yeah.
All my 1 card.
What's a
And
3
then
plus
we all
1?
get given 2 new cards.
That is correct.
This 1 card that I know isn't going to score the most stamina at the end of the game.
We all used our cards, but don't all the cards get used up
Yes.
regardless?
I'm only not
And these all go back up to 3 for the next go. But the morale and everything all stays the same.
And that's it.
So that's all knackered.
Yeah, he's a dead man. Or dead thing, alien, dude, whatever.
So do we move
Person.
these around then? So this is,
That's gone.
so that'd be
1, 2, 3.
3 fighters left. Who's gonna win? You will find out shortly, as we will be back. Alright, so we've finished off the game. We've worked out the points. We've finished all the calculations. And we now know which fighter has won the Fired Up Gladiator Brawl. It was... What is his name?
Rexus.
Yes, he was the star performer. He was also the one that got the second kill, and he's one with the most stamina. That meant he survived the arena battle. This robot was so lucky. You saw on the gameplay turn, he managed to get down to 1 health and still managed to survive on that 1 health and no extra wounds. That lady took a bit of a paggering on that last turn, but the Rhino stood firm and was the winner. But does that mean we earned the most money? Well, in last place is Yellow, which was Carla. She got 34 points. Molo just snuck ahead of her with 35. Mick didn't move his
I had a
proud.
terrible round in the last round. I got nothing.
Yeah. The only thing that won me the game, which obviously I won based on the fact that I got 43 points, was that I actually bet that the Rhino would actually survive this battle. Who was this? Was this you, Molo?
Yeah,
That's what
I
got.
bit twice.
Yeah, so that got you snuck through there. Well, there you go. That is a game of Fired Up. That's how it's played. So basically, we are crowd attendance trying to bet and manipulate the board so that our fighters win the game. This is coming to Kickstarter, I believe, the 10th of August, which is just around the corner. If you want to go check it out and find out what the Kickstarter is like, what other options they are offering. I know there's a few more fighters. This, what we're showing you, is just obviously a prototype component with 5 of the 7 basic fighters in the game. There's actually 2 other fighters, and if I quickly show you some cards, you've got Abel, which is a weird looking dude, and Marrow, another weird looking dude. Those are 2 other fighters that come in the base box. I don't have them here with my prototype, but also I've seen an expansion pack which comes with 2 more fighters, I believe. So there's quite a lot of variation in the fighters, and obviously there's a few other options that come with the game, more cards, obviously much better components than the ones you've seen here. If you like it, you can obviously follow in the link, and that'll take you straight to the Kickstarter. You can see how much it costs, when it'll come out, all the good stuff. And I'm sure the guys from Drawlab would love your support. If you like and share this, that'll help as well. And thanks for watching. See you guys later.